Hi everyone, my name is Rochi. Today I'm here at Chain, which is an ASCM powered supply chain conference, one of the largest in North America. And today I have a special guest with me. Do you want to introduce yourself quickly, Anthony, to our audience?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Anthony Allen. I'm an executive recruiter. I founded Supply Chain Talent Advisors. We're an executive recruitment agency that focuses mostly on supply chain professionals. Prior to that, I had a 20-year career in supply chain, mostly in manufacturing.
Awesome. Yeah, I guess before we start off, for those who were not able to meet you in person, um, could you tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into supply chain in the first place?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like most people, I sort of fell into it. I started off in computer science and realized I hated that major. I wanted nothing to do with it. So, just being transparent, I picked something I thought would be easy. So, I went into business and then fell into supply chain in an internship, and then wound up spending 6 years with that company and just enjoyed supply chain. I started off on the warehouse and operations piece, and then I learned planning, and I learned procurement, and it progressed from there. Kind of climbed the ranks. I spent a large portion of my career in aerospace and defense, also in gas and oil, and loved every minute of it. So, like most people, I just fell into it and just fell in love with it.
Oh, wow. Like, I love how you say, like most people, I have a similar story. I was a mechanical engineering major. I did an internship, which was with a dental manufacturer called Benco Dental. And that's where I got to work a little bit on the supply chain side. And here I am now, a supply chain professional.
That's awesome. I love the way it works out that way. And engineers are some of the best supply chain folks, highly analytical, so I love that.
Yeah, no, absolutely, I agree with that. I guess I want to pivot a little bit into questions for those who are not able to be here. And since it's like you have so much experience in recruiting, and we are all hearing about the job market doing not good right now. Um, if let's say someone is studying supply chain or wants to enter supply chain as a professional, as an early career professional, what is one thing that they should be doing right now to stand out to recruiters like you, or to stand out in general to companies that are hiring them?
So, first and foremost, I mean, when you're in your college classes, make sure you take them as seriously, especially the ones that they help you build the foundation for supply chain, right? So, as you're learning about procurement, whether it be strategic sourcing or even tactical buying, the planning, the logistics, and Incoterms, and all that stuff that makes up the end-to-end supply chain, I would say first and foremost, make sure you have a solid foundation from a theoretical perspective that you learn in college. And then I would say while you're still in college, I would highly encourage you to look at internships, especially rotational internships at some of the larger corporations that will allow you to figure out what you might think you love procurement, but maybe in reality you get an internship and realize you hate it. Maybe you're one of those weird guys that loves working in a warehouse. So you wind up becoming a warehouse manager and managing the logistics piece. So I would say first build the foundation and the theory, and then figure out what it is you want to do. And the best way to do that is experiment through internships. That is the biggest thing you can do right now. And then I'll add one step beyond that. In addition to the technical piece, a lot of employers are complaining that some of the younger grads they're not great communicators. Because let's face it, we all want to text.
Yeah.
And so a big piece of supply chain is cross-functional collaboration and influencing your peers and being able to negotiate with suppliers and people on your team and outside your company. So really doing what you can to reinforce those communication skills is going to set you apart from your colleagues.
Awesome. Yeah, I feel like communication is something that even in classes we are taught about it, but then no one actually, like, you're taught in a presentation or a slide, so you can't really implement it unless you do it in an internship or like in a rotational program. And like, fun fact about me, I'm in a rotational program. Like, Microsoft Cloud offers this program called SCORE. So I do one operations, one planning, and one flex role. So that's the primary reason why I chose the rotation program, because I wasn't sure what field I wanted to go to or what I wanted to do. So I think that's super helpful. Um, I think one thing that all of us, especially those in the job market, are hearing about is AI. AI is replacing jobs. AI is taking over sort of everything. At least that's what we hear. That's what we're hearing. You are super close to the recruiting. Like you know what's going on. Do you want to talk a little bit about, is it actually going to impact supply chain jobs? Is it actually taking away, I guess, potential jobs that are going to open?
So I smiled when you asked the question. There's a reason for that. Like if you're doom scrolling on LinkedIn or Facebook or the news or whatever, they're talking about AI is going to replace so many white collar jobs. Even as a recruiter, they're like, AI is going to replace recruiters. AI is not going to replace all these white collar jobs, especially recruiters or supply chain professionals. So let me tell you, at the end of the day, supply chain is built on relationships. And so you're influencing people, you're building relationships, you're building and earning trust, you're learning how to negotiate. And there's no way that AI will ever be able to replicate you walking a supplier through a strategic negotiation and you being able, as a seasoned professional, to navigate the emotional piece of that. AI can never duplicate or replicate human emotions. So, again, at the end of the day, supply chain is technical. I'd say it's 20% technical, 80% people skills. So, I think AI will be a benefit to supply chain professionals in their jobs because it's going to take some of the administrative and maybe analytical piece. It's going to help you, but it's not going to replace you. And I mean, I would bet my career on it's not going to replace you.
You heard it here first. 20 plus years of career, and he's betting it.
That's right.
I love that. I think for not just AI, I feel like everyone talks about AI as an opportunity. Do you feel like there's anything else, someone who's entering the field is super early and wants to like get ahead in the career, any opportunity that they should jump on right now, or any skill set that they should leverage on right now to sort of grow in the career?
So if they can invent a crystal ball and figure out the tariff situation, it would be a multi-bajillion. But aside from that, it kind of, I'll keep it basic. The biggest thing is focus on, and I hate the term soft skills, but communication, and you hear communication, even deep dive in that, learn how to influence people in a positive way without making them feel like you took advantage of them. Because again, at the end of the day, supply chain is heavily based around influencing others. Not so you can get your way, but so you can get the best value out of a supplier. Sometimes it's even influencing your leadership, right? Your COO, helping them with decisions. So learn how to communicate and then learn how to influence. And I think you can, you're probably thinking, how do I get to do that? It goes back to what you're doing, those rotational internships. If you're not given the opportunity in those to exercise communication and influence, ask for a project that just revolves around that so that you can, even if it's just leading a small team, that'll help you get leaps and bounds beyond your other classmates. So that's the biggest thing I can leave you with.
Yeah, I think that's super important. Like asking for a project. I feel like a lot of people, if you're like an intern or like a new grad, you might be a small number in the big team, but trying to be hands-on with the project, I think would be super helpful. I guess my a parting advice that you'd like to share to all our viewers. Is there anything, people who couldn't meet you in person, who couldn't attend Change, is there anything that you want to let them know that could potentially help them succeed, or in general would be a good life advice?
Yeah, so it's easy to, so maybe I'm getting old, it's easy to buy into the negative, right? If you look on LinkedIn, you see all these people that lost their jobs, you turn on the news, they're talking about the jobs forecast is bad. Don't let that outside influence impact you in a negative way. There is some truth to it, but sitting here as a recruiter, there are lots of companies hiring. I'll give you a prime example, and they're hiring high-level positions too, entry-level and high-level. Like I had a company reach out to me literally this morning at 5:30. I had never heard of them. They're a beverage company that is only like 5 years old. They're looking to hire their first ever vice president of supply chain. So I'm going to meet with them Monday and talk about what that looks like. Because why are they doing it? Because they have significant growth and they have a COO and a VP of operations. But guess what neither one of them have? They don't have a supply chain background. And so they realized that the supply chain is an obstacle and an opportunity, so they're looking to bring someone on. So prime example, you look on LinkedIn and you go, oh, all these people lost their jobs. But then, like this morning, we got a high profile position that needs to be filled. So there are lots of people out there hiring. So don't mind the negativity is the biggest thing I can leave you with. I mean, there's a lot of people here change. There's a lot of good advice, especially as you're young. Just listen to us old people, and if you can get past the gripes and complaints, we do have some good advice. And so, but I got to keep in mind I'm from Texas, so I'm going to give you a phrase: chew and spit. Take the good advice, and then what's kind of weird, just discard it, spit it out. So that's the biggest thing I can leave you with: chew and spit on your advice as you go through your career.
Awesome. Chew and spit. You heard
Right.
it. Yeah. Thank you so much, Anthony, for taking on the time. I know you're super busy, but really great talking to you, and I'm sure the viewers will appreciate your advice.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.